Fellowshippers, what up? This your boy Big Ham, and I'm back in the Fellowship Hall with my fellas. Twin number one, Keith. Twin number two, Ken. We back. Welcome to the Fellowship Hall. Fellas, say hello to the Fellowshippers.
What's up, fellowshippers? Your boy Ken, aka the Moral Compass. Thanks for tuning in today.
What's up, fellowshippers? It's your boy Keith, aka the moderator. You know me, I know you. Let's go ahead and get started. And you know what we're doing? We're continuing with our favorite show. I guess our favorite show going on right now, and that's none other than Snowfall. Today we're gonna review episode 5. So, fellas, let's go ahead and jump in Snowfall and talk to the people. Big Ham, why don't you kick us off?
Hey man, I thought it was, Snowfall is just continuing along this arc, and they're doing it really well, man. Just doing a good job of keeping this story interesting. Just doing a good job of making sure we hitting everything we need to hit, and and it just tightening everything up. So now everything is tighten up. Excuse me, everything is tightened up around Freeway Franklin Saint, man. And this problem is Leon, and Leon has become a huge problem for him. And so now you got the two enemies who were just trying to kill each other. They just joined up. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That's right.
And so now they're doing that thing, rallying behind the tragic death of this little girl who Leon, killed, who I think Scully deserves some of the blood that's on her hands too. Definitely. I mean, on her head, some of her blood is on his hands as well. I believe that as well. Man, boy, some of this blood is on his hands. They got Khadijah. She got this little girl riding around with these guys who are dangerous in this drug game, and they're targets. They know they're in the middle of a war. They were already in the middle of a war with Man Boy, and then they go out and try to kill Leon, and think he's not gonna hit back.
Exactly.
And you ride in the car with these fools, so that's some of y'all fault. But as they say, and as they say in the show, I used to watch called The Wire. It's all in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But now, it's tightened up on my boy Freeway Franklin Saint, because Leon is hot, and then you got Irene, the reporter. She got the whole story now, and then she went and found some corroborating witnesses.
Yeah.
You got Mrs. Saint then pushed Franklin to try to expand when there's no need to do it now, and lurked and dished on him. So now he out here naked. Uncle Jerome, he in the game, but he tired of it. Louis all the way in it, and now his old lady working at the club, and we don't trust her. I'm worried, man. I'm worried about my boy. I'm worried about my boy. And then Reed was like, man, Leon is a mess, and I can't save him.
Right.
And man, I'm worried about my boy, man. So it was a good episode. It was a lot there. It was a lot to build up to the next episode. We got decisions to make. So I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it, and I enjoy Snowfall, man. So I look forward to every week when I can watch it, man. And so it's moving steady along, and it's keeping my attention. And I'm always on the edge of my seat.
Okay, Compass, weigh in on what you thought of Snowfall this last episode.
Yeah, I mean, I share in Big Ham's excitement for it, but honestly, this show was just a move along show, in my opinion. Nothing really phenomenal or anything happened. Obviously the whole Leon and Sissy braiding his hair was, I guess, a decent moment or a touching moment, but it didn't really add anything to the story.
Kind of scared me a little bit when I first saw it. I was like, hold on, what the heck is going on here?
I agree.
I think Sissy considers him a son too, just like, since he grew up with Franklin and best friends with Franklin. So she was just, feeling sorry for him because she knew that he was hurt over what had happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot didn't happen. I thought it was idiotic for Leon to leave the safety of the apartment when he saw himself on the news. All it did was just made himself more out there in the public, more likely to get caught by the police or caught by Scully, which is exactly what happened. Scully and then his boy happened to be at the right place at the right time, and they just started firing at Leon. Then Franklin and Jerome automatically knew where he was going to be, and they swooped in and picked him up. So to me, that was a little bit of weak writing, in my opinion, but it is what it is. I got two other quick points I want to make. My first point is it's time moving in slow motion because my boy Franklin been on a cane forever. Seems like. So is Franklin going? Is he permanently with a limp or is he still healing? That's what I don't understand. So maybe you guys know better than me. And then the other thing I had was, we know Lurk left because he couldn't take the plight that they were putting on the African American community. But also, Peaches is still hurt, I guess. I think they're still waiting for Peaches to heal from his gunshot wound. So who was the old dude that looked like Jerome's daddy that was waiting when they met up with Man Boy? It was Jerome, Franklin, Louis, and then some other old dude to the right side. That I'm wondering if it was obviously I'm joking a little bit, but it's just some old random looking dude who happened to be the muscle for last week's episode. Did you guys even peep him or no?
I missed that, bro.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
When they met up with Man Boy and Man Boy asked them were they gonna give up Leon,
Oh, at the
it
end?
was it was Jerome, Louis, Franklin, and then some other old cat to Franklin's left, but to our right on the screen. And I was just like, who is this dude?
I didn't see him at all.
It was a young
Okay.
dude. It was the same young dude that came in the club when Man Boy first came to the club. It was that young looking dude. The same
I'm
guy.
telling you, dude looked old to me, but maybe I had to go back and look.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was okay. I think over the break though, we got some clarification that the little girl actually was Scully's daughter and Man Boy's niece. So we did get that confirmed. But yeah, other than that, it was just a decent episode. I mean, I hate to give a spoiler out to everybody, but Eileen gonna be my number one again. Got to go, man, because as usual, she's just getting all this information falling to her lap, man. She goes to these drug cartel brothers that's in jail, and they saying, "Oh yeah, we not why we talk to you." And then she said one thing, Reed Thompson turned you in. Oh, and they give her everything, and then she go back to her editor, and they gonna put all these resources on her. So I don't know, man. They just making stuff easy for her, and it's making me mad.
I'm sorry, bro. That was a weak writing moment for me. Like, what? Like, these guys are in custody for the government, and they're just gonna let the press come in,
and they together.
Yeah.
Why they could talk to them together too?
Together, yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like they making Eileen like too powerful.
Irene.
I'm sorry, Irene too powerful, able to get too much information and just untouchable. Basically, I mean, like she a genius. She the genius of the show. They can get everything done, whatever she wanted. So that bothers me. But other than that, I mean, I know I started off saying it was a slow, just moving along episode, and then I had a lot of things to complain about. So I'm sorry, guys. But I'm just giving it to you straight. Just giving. No, it was worse than I thought because I'm complaining about it.
It was worse than I thought. It was worse than I thought too because you spoiled your Gots to Go, which is a no on the Fellowship Hall.
Can't spoil Gots to Go. You can edit it, but you can't spoil it.
Exactly. But check this out, guys. Eileen been my Gots to Go since season 4
Irene.
started. So
Who is Eileen? Who is Eileen?
I don't know who she is, but she needs to go too. She needs to go too. But
be Irene twin sister.
Baby.
Y'all the only twins on here, man.
My bad. But I'm sorry. I mean, Irene been on my top list since the show started, man. So I'm assuming the Fellowship knew it was coming, man. But it's just frustrating to me how much she getting away with. But other than that, man, it just was a move along episode.
No, I hear you. I mean, I can't be mad at you. Irene is I guess I'll go ahead and hop into my reaction real quick. Irene is definitely a thorn in our sides. I don't think Franklin recognizes the thorniness that she will be, but we do, and it's painful for us to watch. Also painful for us to know that Franklin probably doesn't see this coming. Nevertheless, I thought it was a good episode myself. I agree with Kendrick that it was kind of one of those, it was a filler episode, but it was better than a filler episode. It was a move along the story. I'll say a few points that I didn't care for. One, I feel like that for no reason they making Gustavo. I don't know why they kind of made him like drunk and out of control, where we really haven't seen him. Well, we really haven't seen him in that capacity. So I was like, why are they doing this? And it's just coming out of nowhere. Grieving, okay, but I understand, but I don't see him getting drunk and then going to the house. I see him getting drunk.
I'm sorry, but he had properly grieved. He saw them folks dead and he went and tried to get revenge immediately.
Understood.
It's the first time I saw him really kind of like, sit down in it.
I understand, but still, like
That
I
was the
could see
first
him.
thing I thought when I saw he was drunk and he was in there. I was like, man,
Clearly he was grieving, but still, I still felt like it was uncharacteristic of El Ocho, El Oso.
Also,
Um, if you're gonna get drunk, I see you getting drunk in a bar and then fighting somebody, not being drunk, going to the kid's house, reading them a bedtime story, getting the aunt okay, and then fighting with the police. I thought that was a little crazy. Then obviously I was like, watch this joker say something about I'm CIA or something. So
I
hopefully
do it
they
too.
don't. Yep, hopefully they don't come back to bite him. But Reed was there to pick him up, and I was pretty happy about that. My next thing is Leon, man, Lil Lee. Leon is also becoming a thorn in our criminal protagonist's side, man. He is making mistakes. He Franklin got him in the situation. I will have to admit that Franklin got him in the situation, but it was only after Leon kind of shunned him and didn't want to kind of work with him. I mean, it may not be Leon's fault, but after that, everything that happened farther is Leon's fault. And it's again, you recognize that, hey, this is a side man, this is not the main man, and I hate to do that, but that is because I like Leon personally, but Franklin is the guy. He should have just stayed under Franklin's umbrella and he probably been fine. I also
They
feel
killed
like
Khadijah, man.
yes. Exactly. He should have
Killed
killed
Khadijah.
Khadijah.
This wouldn't be a problem.
That's also a huge point that, as we said last week, of course it's traumatic to kill a child. We know this is a TV show, but of course it's traumatic to kill a child. But once you've gone that far, it's no turning back, no matter what you
Turn it
you
do
back.
can't bring
going
her back.
forward. So
You
you
couldn't bring her
gotta
back.
end it. You gotta end it. One thing I thought about was if Reed could do something, and they pit everything on Fatback and get Fatback out of there and save Leon, but Leon messed that up when he didn't kill Khadijah. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
messed it up. Two more points, and then we'll go on to the next segment. But my other point, or one of my last 2 points, is Louis. Man, I feel like Louis is she too in. She's so in now. She is just got like blinders on. She's just looking in one direction, and that's for money, products, or whatever. Cause
What
she
that
ready
money
to
will do,
throw
man.
Leon. She ready to throw Leon to the side like it's nothing, man. Now I
But
know
keep in
she ain't.
mind, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Go
keep
ahead.
in mind, Leon kind of disrespected Louis while Franklin was out the game, and he said he wasn't gonna take no orders from a woman or
True,
whatever.
true.
And so I'm sure that's still in the back of Louis' mind, and she like, you don't want to take orders from me, I'm done with you. So
You
he means
probably
nothing to her.
that's a good point, Compass. That's a good
Leon,
point.
Leon, and knock. He cutting his bridges off, man.
Burn
Burning
them, yeah,
bridges,
Burning
burning
bridges.
yeah,
bridges.
Yeah,
yeah.
burning bridges. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the term.
Yeah,
Burning
but
bridges.
I still feel like she a little harsher than I would like her to be. But at the
She
same
is a little
time,
too ambitious, but her life
but
has changed for the better as far as what she can see in front of her.
everything, yeah.
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 I mean, when Jerome was hesitant to mess with that cocaine, and Lou was like, "I know where we can take it." So I guess she's always been like that, but it seemed like now that she is like a queen pin almost, and she just got this killer mentality. So I'm wondering about her in the future. I got to be honest with you. And my last point, which is kind of a good point to me anyway, is that this show also shows me kind of something that I know and you guys know is the strength of a black woman. So just like when Sissy went and comforted Leon, Leon was the man. He was this hard man that did something, and Sissy was there to comfort him. And I was with Rab. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then I like, okay, settle down, settle down. But she comforted him, and then even more so, Khadijah, when Scully ran to the hospital and was crying about his baby, Khadijah was there. Khadijah was in the middle of it. Khadijah saw it all. She held her for her last breath. And you know what she did? She comforted Scully. So kudos to that. So that it may have been a few missteps in the writing in this episode, but I thought this part of writing was dead on with the strength of a black woman who, no matter what's on her shoulders, she still will comfort the black man or whoever, in this case the black man. So kudos to that. I wanted to bring that up, and I appreciate that type of writing being injected in the show.
Cool.
All right, fellowshippers, let us know what you thought about our reactions, and then let us know what you think about the show. You know, are you on the same page as us with some of the things like Leon or how Louis is acting, or do you feel like that some of this stuff is par for the course? So just let us know. So next we're gonna go to, you know what it is. I don't even have to explain it, but it's our Gots to Go segment where we talk about who we want off the show, 1 through 3, starting with 3, working our way up to our most wanted off the show. We're gonna let More Compass go first. More Compass, go ahead and give us your number 3 person who you feel Gots to go off Snowfall.
You know, man, this was a tough week for me. Like you and I alluded to. The show was kind of just a filler episode. Not a lot happened. So it was kind of tough for me to come up with 3 Gots to go. At least from my opinion, and obviously I can't make Irene all 3. So I got to do it the right way. So I am going to have to reprise my Leon person as someone who needs to go. He's making too many mistakes. He's putting himself in jeopardy. He's just pulling Franklin more and more into this conflict. And I happened to catch the preview at the end of the episode, and he's like running up on Franklin saying something about this his fault in the preview. So I don't know. I think Leon, man, he might have ran his course. I think when Leon basically wanted to go at it on his own and never wanted to hang out and be part of the Franklin organization anymore, I think Leon probably started drifting away from the usefulness of the show, at least to me. So my number 3 is Leon.
I can't be mad at that, man. It's hard for me to say Leon has got to go, but at the same time, it's hard for me to be a fan of Franklin and saying I need Leon to stay. Especially the way Leon is at odds with Franklin. So it's a tough one. Big Ham, you want to comment or you want to give your number 3?
Yeah, my number 3 got to go.
I guess that's a no on the comment.
That's no on the comment. That's no on the comment. I mean, y'all said everything. My number 3 got to go. Man, boy. It's still man, boy, man. I wish Franklin had to listen to Louis 3 weeks ago when she told him who they needed to get up out of there. And now it's just, like you said, the strength of a black woman, Keith. She knew. And now it has multiplied itself again to now where he teamed up with Scully when it started off as they was at odds. And now Man Boy is the problem we always thought it would be, an even bigger problem because he added to the problem with Scully. So number 3, Man Boy got to go.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Ken, you okay with that?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, Man Boy's been on the combination of our list of the whole season, basically, and he should have been gone. He should have been gone in the first episode. He should have been him who the team plotted to get. So I have no issue with Big Ham selecting Man Boy.
Okay, all right. I'll go ahead and give him my number 3. My number 3 is probably not going to be a surprise to the fellowshippers and probably not to you guys. My number 3 got to go with Scully. Scully is still dangerous. Right now it seems like Scully's targets are set on Leon as they should be. I think Scully probably shouldn't have been targeting Leon initially when he targeted him initially, but then he got his payback with his daughter, and now he's focused on Leon based on Khadijah's anger. But Scully got to go. Scully's a problem for Franklin. Scully's a problem for Louis. Scully's a problem for Jerome. Scully's a problem for all of them because apparently, as we saw in the episodes, Scully's not focused on Franklin. Scully's focused on everybody that's involved with Franklin. So he started with Leon. If he were to get Leon, then no telling who he's going to go after next. So it has to be Scully. I mean, if you guys got any comments or not, I'll go to my number 2. But if you guys are okay, what do you think about that?
Scully and Man Boy, man. They the main antagonists against Franklin right now. They the ones that need to go.
Yeah, man. And on your Scully is your number 3. My comment is my number 2 got to go with Scully. I know you ain't told me to go, but that's my comment. Scully got to go. He's the enemy right now. And so that's my number 2, man. And it is what it is. I'm right there with you.
It is. Okay, Ken, I'm going to go ahead and go since I was trying to go earlier. My number 2. My number 2 is Irene. It's Irene. It's Irene. And I got
Funny guy.
Oh,
It's Irene, man. She got to go. I gotta be honest with you. She was probably my number two, my number one for most of the show, and then I changed my mind at the last minute. But I'm tired of her, man. Like I think I said at one point that Officer Nix was my most ever got to go. Irene has replaced him. I really want this lady gone. And even though she's not my number one, she is on my list constantly. She has to go. And like Kendrick said, she's getting information so easy.
So easy, man.
Every obstacle in her way is being removed by something. Hey, you got a brick wall right here. Hey, I got this other source now. It's kind of it's what needs to be on the show, obviously, and it's good writing that we don't like this character so much, but as a fan of the show, as you know, a fan of Franklin, we want her gone. She got a freaking board with Franklin's face on her. She hasn't even had any interaction with him. You know, this is
Leon too.
frustrating. Yeah, this is frustrating. So, Irene is my number two. Got to go.
Good one. I'm not
Ken.
mad at that at all. My number two got to go is somebody that has never made our list before, but has always been around, and we just haven't mentioned it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and mention it. My number two got to go is Khadijah, and the reason she needs to go is because she's gonna be the catalyst that keeps pushing Manboy and Scully to avenge her daughter's death. She's doing the right thing, but she has fallen into this whole antagonist role against our criminal protagonist, which is Franklin. Although right now they're after Leon, but nevertheless, you guys said Manboy and Scully, so I'm just gonna keep it all in the family, and I'm gonna go with Khadijah. Get rid of her because if Manboy gets smoked, she's gonna push Scully to finish the job. If Scully gets smoked, she's gonna push Manboy to finish the job. So either way, she's gonna continue coming after those guys. And plus, she should have already been gone, unfortunately. So
that's the thing.
yeah, so Khadija is my number two.
Hey, like you said, she should have already been gone. Like you said, she gonna be a problem until she is gone. So, a clever pick and definitely a good one.
Yeah, it caught me off guard, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense. And if I can make a quick comment about that, like Khadijah, man, I feel like Khadijah has always been in a awkward position, but she had no problem being in that position. You know, like it's your brother and it's your boyfriend, baby's father, whatever, but still, like she was never conflicted, ever.
She chose her man. She always stuck with her man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Big Ham, go ahead and give us your number one.
Bye, Leon. You gotta go, bro. You have become a problem that's too big for us to keep around, man. You like a magnet attracting a whole bunch of mess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You the doo-doo bringing the flies around, man. You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. Now, although, like as Ken mentioned earlier in the previews, he said it was Franklin's fault. And he's right, because Leon told that man, don't get involved in that mess. Yeah. And he did. Franklin went and jumped square in the middle of it. And then, because Leon was chilling, Scully wasn't thinking about Leon. So Franklin tried to set Scully up and missed. And Scully came and hit at Franklin's closest boy, he thought. That's right. So Leon got a point, Ken. It is Franklin's fault, but Franklin is our criminal protagonist. And Leon is right now is the biggest problem for our criminal protagonist. He got to go.
Yep. Okay. It's Franklin's fault, but he perpetually gets a permanent pass. So that's the thing. Franklin gets a pass, so Leon gonna be the one that takes the fall.
He got to go.
Yep.
All right, Ken. I would go, but since you kind of sported in your reaction, go ahead and tell us your number one.
Yeah. Irene, just kidding. Irene, the reporter. Irene needs to go. She needs to go. She needs to go. I mean, it's nothing left for me to say. You already had on your list. I gave the foreshadowing or spoiler alert or whatever you want to call it in the reaction. She needs to go, man. She's getting too much information too easily, too quickly. And it either needs to be figuring her out and taking her down, because I don't know what Franklin would do. So it needs to be somebody that I trust to get the job done clean. And that's going to be Reed.
Hey, the good news is she's also a threat to Reed, so that's
exactly
that's a good point there.
It increases no chance of her getting up on out of here.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, I'll go ahead and get my number one. I think you guys have already hit on it. My number one is Man Boy, and the reason why is Man Boy is because Man Boy to me has more chances to get in close proximity with Franklin. He has been able to go to the club with no issues. He met them together with no issues. Scully's not getting close to anybody. Scully's running up on people, catching them off guard, and firing on them. Man Boy is standing right in front of Franklin, threatening Franklin. At the end of the show, he threatened Franklin basically. I hope you know what you're doing and all that good stuff. You know what? I'm almost upset at Franklin because when Man Boy was doing some of that big talk, I was like, Man Boy
Kill
finna
him.
go right now. Franklin finna end him.
Kill
Franklin is
him.
going to be the person
Kill
he
him.
needs to be and end Man Boy right
Kill
now.
him.
He will not.
And he let him drive away.
Kill him.
Yeah, of course I can't be too mad at Franklin because that's our boy. But Man Boy has the chance, or at least seems to have chances to get close to Franklin, and he could potentially do some damage. And we already know that Man Boy is constantly thinking about how he can take over from our boy Saint. He say he's smart, but that don't mean he ain't plotting against him. Man Boy has told Franklin to his face, "What do you got?" You know what I mean? I got Compton. Scully got this. Leon had this or whatever, but it's Man
Got the
Boy. I feel
plug.
like. Go ahead.
Franklin said he got the plug.
Franklin got the plug, but if you ain't got nobody to sell it or no place to sell it, then it's useless. If you ain't got no place to plug in a plug, then you still ain't gonna get no light. But I feel like Man Boy is the one. Man Boy is the biggest threat to Franklin right now.
You know
I
what?
said Man Boy.
I know we up against it, but you reminded me of something that makes me mad. You mentioned that when Man Boy and Franklin had their little meeting, you thought Franklin was gonna go ahead and end Man Boy
I
and
wanted
stuff
him
like
to.
that. You wanted them to, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Franklin never does that, and that what makes me angry. The one time Franklin went ahead and pulled the trigger and killed somebody was somebody that he didn't need to kill at that point. He
He
didn't
was
need
Nah,
trying
to
to
he
save
kill
had
himself.
to
Andre.
kill him,
No,
man.
He
listen
had
to
to
me.
kill Andre.
Had to kill
Uh,
him, bro.
Had to
he
kill him.
didn't have to kill Andre because Andre was going to take Mel off and try to get her clean. Franklin had some time
Nah,
before he
he
was
had to
coming
kill
back.
Andre
He
too, bro.
told him. He was like, "I'm gonna go take my daughter and get her clean, but I won't rest till you come down."
That's why he
Franklin
had to
didn't have to
kill
kill
him.
that man. Franklin didn't have to kill that man at that
Yeah,
point.
he did, bro.
No, he didn't, man. Franklin. It's been
Man,
other
that
people
was a
Franklin should
couple
have
of that
killed,
was
and he didn't backed
bro,
off. But he gonna kill that dude, cold
bro.
Should
That
blooded.
have
was a
killed him.
couple of times Franklin tried to reason with Andre, man.
It was. It
Matter of
was.
fact, Franklin told like that. He went to Andre. He was like, "I just take her somewhere and get her clean and leave it
That's what he
be."
was gonna do.
He said he was coming
No,
back for
he
him.
said he'll never rest till he put him in jail.
Man, who knows when he was coming back, man? Andre was talking big. You know what?
Andre had tried. He had already tried to get him arrested a couple times. Then he kept investigating it. After they took him off the case,
He busted in on
he
his
wouldn't let it
uncle
go.
house. Kendrick, you wrong, man.
You
He
wrong. He
had to
had to
Man,
kill
kill
Andre
Andre, man.
at
I'm
that point.
mad.
Andre
I'm
had to
mad,
go.
man. He pulled the trigger when he pulled the trigger. Then he didn't have to. He got people that's actively trying to kill him standing in front of him. He don't do it. Franklin made a mistake in killing Andre so quick. Well, okay, I'm gonna say this. If y'all say he should have killed Andre, I ain't gonna fight that battle. But what I'm gonna say is, for him to pull the trigger on Andre, he's had way more reason to pull the trigger on Man Boy, and he hasn't done it.
Yeah, but even then, man, he have always waited to the last resort. Like
Yeah,
he should have killed Mel too.
Man Boy in the last resort right
I
now.
don't know. That's why Franklin has always waited to the last resort. He killed Kevin at the absolute last minute. Shot
Well,
Kevin
he
at the
didn't try to
absolute
kill
last minute.
Kevin.
He didn't try
He
to kill him.
he waited until he had no other choice but to kill Andre. And to keep it 100, he probably should have killed Mel. He walked away and almost got off.
Yeah, he should have killed Mel. But you know what? I don't know. I'm mad, and maybe it's the emotions talking right now. But we might
Yeah.
have a new entry in the Gots to Go next week.
A new entry. It better not be Franklin.
Oh, yeah. Well, Franklin better hope. Franklin better hope somebody else mess up next week. That's all I gotta say. Franklin better hope somebody mess up next week.
Let me stop this. Let me
Man,
stop this
look.
Just to Go segment because Ken is going crazy right now. Okay, fellowshippers, make sure you let us know who your Gots to Go. I know we got the same Gots to Go, so I don't know if that's good or bad. For the most part, Ken had a new one, which was a great one today, and I think
Yeah.
this is the first time that Leon has made Big Ham's list too. So it was some surprises, but it was still a usual suspects basically. So let us know in the comments who you feel got to go. Ken,
Next
go
week
ahead and
might be
close out.
next week might not be a usual suspect.
Okay, Ken. Okay, Ken. Ken, you
X-Men want
pretty.
Franklin to go because he ain't killed Bad Boy.
All right, Ken, you were pretty animated this episode, so why don't you go ahead and close us out?
All right. Hey, thank you, fellowshippers, for tuning in with us this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun with you. As usual, you guys go on to the Fellowship Hall's YouTube page, hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe. I think Big Ham made a passionate plea in last week's podcast for you guys to go ahead and start subscribing. Hit us up on YouTube at the Fellowship Hall. Go to Big Ham's page, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we got the Fellowship Hall on Facebook as well. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Be blessed, fellowshippers.
Be blessed.
Be blessed, fellowshippers.